I didn't expect my birthday to become the night I finally learned who I was in my own marriage. I had planned everything weeks in advance. Nothing fancy. Just a small gathering at our house with a few close friends. I wanted laughter, warmth, something simple. Something that felt like us again. My name is Daniel. I'm 38, married to Claire for 12 years, and the kind of man who prides himself on keeping things steady, calm, under control. Claire had been distant all afternoon. I chalked it up to stress, maybe a bad mood. So I tried harder. I grilled her favorite dinner, cleaned the house, put up small decorations I hoped she'd notice. I wasn't asking for a miracle, just a moment where she might look at me the way she used to. The first guests arrived. The house filled with easy conversation, clinking glasses, the kind of casual joy I'd been craving. Claire smiled, laughed politely, but she wasn't present. Not really. And then he walked in. I noticed the change in her before I even saw who it was. The way she straightened. The spark in her eyes I hadn't seen in years. Tom. Her college ex. The one she used to mention in stories. The guy who made her feel alive. I had always assumed he was just part of a distant past. But as he stepped into the room, it was clear that past wasn't as distant for her as it was for me. They exchanged hellos. Casual. Polite. But not empty. Not neutral. Her laugh came too easily. Her hand brushed his arm. Light but intentional enough to land like a punch in my chest. I stood there, invisible in my own home, sipping my drink like it could steady the shaking in my hands. I kept telling myself I was overthinking it. That it was harmless. That she wouldn't, not here, not tonight. But then she placed her hand on his shoulder, soft, familiar, lingering. And the look he gave her told me everything I didn't want to know. I thought about the years I had spent trying. The small sacrifices, the quiet support, the things I did because I loved her. The things she stopped seeing. And in that moment, something became painfully clear. She wasn't just enjoying his presence. She was enjoying the power she had over me. I moved across the room, pretending to join a conversation. She noticed. She smiled. And then she touched him again. That smile had once belonged to me. I didn't confront her. Didn't make a scene. The truth didn't need volume. It was already screaming inside me. And suddenly, I understood something I'd been avoiding for years. The loudest message isn't in what you say. It's in what you walk away from. So I left. No drama. No slammed doors. No speeches. I just walked out. The night air hit me sharp, honest, freeing. Every step away from the house felt like reclaiming a piece of myself I had quietly surrendered over time. I drove with no destination. Let the road wash the noise out of my head. The memories of Claire and me didn't hurt anymore. They just felt distant. Faded. When I reached my friend Adam's place, he opened the door before I could knock. "Danny, what happened?" I didn't have the energy for explanations. "I left," I said. "I just left." He understood. More than I said, and more than I wanted to admit. We sat with 2 glasses of whiskey, and the kind of silence that lets you feel things without drowning in them. I told him bits and pieces. The smile. The touch. The way Claire seemed to forget who I was, or chose to. "I guess she'll regret it," I murmured. Adam nodded. People always do when they lose someone who actually cared. We talked until the weight in my chest felt lighter. Not gone, just finally shared. When I fell asleep on his couch, I realized something. This wasn't about Tom. Or a birthday. Or a party. It was about me. About the years I'd spent shrinking myself to keep things peaceful. About the quiet compromises that had erased pieces of who I was. Leaving wasn't an escape. It was a return to myself. The next morning I didn't check my phone. Didn't wonder if she was looking for me. I stepped outside with a cup of coffee, letting the sunlight fall on a version of me I hadn't seen in years. Weeks passed. Eventually, I heard she'd been asking about me. Not with triumph or pride, but with confusion. Regret. Loss. I didn't need revenge. I didn't need to prove anything. Because my silence had done what words never could. By walking away quietly, I showed her the value of what she took for granted. And in that absence I found something far more important. Respect. For myself. I left the party, but I arrived at a new beginning. One where I no longer had to beg for the love or recognition I deserved. And that was the real gift I gave myself. Music.